Yeah. Wake up with coffee and sports. Sunrise glow, listen coast to coast. A flow like you know.
Offensively, who made them? Oh, Patrick Mahomes.
Sideline to sideline with plays to show. This network's got the spark.
When you put up 300 yards rushing against someone, that you got your butt whooped.
I feel like I would have liked to see Oregon, Ohio State in the semis, not the quarters. So I think some reseeding is probably where I would change. But
they're out of their mind. They're going to do this 3 quarterbacks in a row.
Here's the crazy.
I just can't take it.
Birds keep flying high, fans cheering loud, and one podcast moving through the crowd. Meaty Boyz brawling, no holds barred out. This wire life never in doubt. Tune into the vibe.
That's my bold prediction for the show. Devin Booker, in the next 3 years, he will be a Houston Rocket.
Because I still think Seth is still at the top of his game. I do. I think he's right there. Who knows? Maybe. Not this year, but one time soon. Why wouldn't we potentially see Seth and Roman? One more season, you know what I mean?
Tune in the vibe.
Gardley on the mic tonight. News coming in left and right. More better with the latest fight. Gene's got that insight tight. Champions rise and they fall. Wire to wire, got it all. Every movie, every brawl. Tune in for the curtain call. Wrestling talk all night long. Catch the latest match and song. Ring the bell, let's get it on. Every story bright and strong. In the ring they clash and roar. New rivalries and so much more. Titles change and legends lore.
What is poppin', y'all? It is your boy, Guardy3. I hope y'all aren't sick of me yet. Third time seeing me today. And of course, welcome to the Meaty Boyz podcast. And of course, joining me just like every week, he is the greatest co-host of all time. He is Mo Better. How you doing, Mo?
Doing great. Monday night, MLK Day. We're celebrating what the great Martin Luther King Jr. meant to the country, to the civil rights movement. Watching some great basketball. The national championship game is on. And finally, we're talking wrestling. Let's get into it.
No, absolutely. So last week, Mo, we kind of started off with a little bit of a fun question. I'm going to start this off with another really just fun question that I have. It's another game of would you pull the trigger, Mo? So, Mo, you get to pick one superstar, any superstar you want, to win the world championship. The catch is their theme song gets replaced with the Right to Censor theme song. So you get the champion of your choosing, but you get maybe the worst theme song in existence for him. Would you pull the trigger?
That's asking a lot because that is a terrible theme song. But if I can choose the champion that I'd like just for get some new blood up in there for the excitement of it, I think I would pull the trigger. I'm gonna have Dirty Dom win the championship, win the heavyweight championship. It's unfathomable that Dom would be the world heavyweight championship, but because it is, I think I would do it. I think I would do it. And I think Dom would have a fairly decent run. I mean, it wouldn't be forever or anything like that, but his whole gimmick about being able to win at any cost, I think that would extend him a couple of pay-per-views. So yeah, it's a horrible theme song, but if anybody can survive it, since he's booed all the time anyway, it's Dirty Dom.
All right, you know what? That's fair enough. I had that thought. I'm like, man, I wonder if Mo would pull the trigger if the catch was that stupid theme song. It was notable for all the wrong reasons. So I suggest if you have never listened to it, don't. Just save your ears from that one. Appreciate that, TD and 3. Thank you. But say, while we hop right into the AEW side of things, last week they had their Total Carnage Dynamite TV special, which, by the way, I love the TV specials. I think it's a great way to give these regular shows a big feel. But I do want to ask, I got to ask you a question, Mo. One of the matches, which, by the way, great match. I don't want to knock the performers because I think they did terrific, was Darby Allin versus Pac. Darby has been feuding with the Death Riders ever since Bryan Danielson got retired. And that was like a year and a half ago. He was part of that closing angle at the formation of the Death Riders, and we're still going on with it. Is it just me, Mo? Like, I like the Death Ride. I do enjoy the Death Riders. I do enjoy Darby, but is it just me, or do they got to find some new blood to start picking on at some point?
It's not just you. I think they squeezed all the juice out of this feud. I feel like the Death Riders can go pick on somebody else. Darby Allin, because of the talent that he is, can go find something else to do or somebody else to feud with. But they need to move off of this. This is overdoing, or what's the line? If doing too much was a storyline, this is definitely doing too much. It's time to move on. This storyline is dry. This feud is dry. As a wrestling fan, I don't want to see it anymore.
No, I agree. Like, Darby Allin did defeat Pac, so I'm hoping that that's the end of it. I think it should have been the end of it when, he was wrestling, when he beat, he was fight, had that match with Jon Moxley. I thought that should have been the end of it, but we're still here. So let's just hope that Wednesday night they move on to other things. By the way, also throughout the show, if you're tuning in with us, we'll give you little updates on the national championship game. Right now, Indiana is up 3-0 over Miami. The other big event that happened, Mo, the main event, MJF versus Bandito. MJF dispatches a Bandito, shows him respect, and then beats him down after that. Brody King makes the save. It seems like they're teasing Brody King versus MJF. My question to you, Mo, is really simple. Do you think that's are you excited for a potential Brody King versus MJF match? Because I'm guessing Grand Slam Australia in a couple weeks. That's probably where it would happen.
I'm a little excited for the matchup. I think it would be entertaining. Look, I think MJF is one of those performers that when he's on his A game, he can make any match into a great match. So whether you root for him or root against him, he's that kind of talent. He won't disappoint. So I do expect it to be an entertaining match. I'm excited for it. And I'm excited to see where this goes beyond that.
No, fair enough. I completely agree. I think Brody King is such a great talent. And I'm excited. I think it's a perfect little mini filler feud for TV. And I'm debating, Mo, if I want to watch that episode of Collision in Australia. The problem is I think it starts stupid early in the morning.
Oh, really?
2:30 or 3:30 because it is over in Australia. So I'm not sure if it's going to be pre-taped and airing at a normal time, but if they're airing it live, it's going to be stupid early in the morning.
If they're airing it live, I will not be watching.
Catch the replay the next day. Don't even worry about it. And of course, I think the other biggest news with AEW right now is Powerhouse Hobbs. His contract is expired. It seems like he's making the jump over to WWE. Very, very strong, just athletic for his size. Would you be excited for a potential Powerhouse Hobbs run in the WWE?
No, not because I'm not a fan of Powerhouse Hobbs, because I know how WWE works. They're gonna get him, and he's a name, and he's familiar. but where is he going to go? He's never going to be a threat to win the heavyweight championship, either one of them. I don't even know if he's going to win a mid-card match. I think the thing about Hobbs is he's usually at his best, Brett, when he's part of some kind of faction. You know what I mean? Like he's an enforcer type. So and maybe that's what'll happen. He'll join a faction, but I don't think his run is going to be as an individual talent. I don't think it's going to be that impactful because they're overloaded with talent. They just brought up Javon Evans, Obafembe, and Trick Williams. Like, no offense to Hobbs, but he doesn't rank with any of those guys. So I don't know where he's going to go unless he's part of a faction.
What Triple H would be hearing after you saying that is he needs to be in the Judgment Day.
Yeah, you know what? Put him in a Judgment Day. Look, the only thing I would ask WWE not to do, because he doesn't deserve this, do not in any way put Powerhouse Hobbs anywhere near the New Day.
No, you know what? It's funny because I do agree with you on that, because I think Hobbs is a great talent and any company would be blessed to have him. But that being said, I've just seen how they treated a lot of these newcomers, right? Jeff Cobb was rumored to be coming and make a great impact until JC Mateo showed up, right?
Right.
Rusev is going to make a grand return, and he returned. It's a thing that happened. Aleister Black was going to, shake up the company until he came back, and it just nothing really happened. I think they'd almost give him that little push or that big debut to, try to stick it to AEW like they like to do, and then he just kind of fades into obscurity. I think almost the best course of action, if you do sign him, send him to NXT. You're bringing all these guys up. You need somebody in the main event scene down there, and I think the Powerhouse Hobbs might be the perfect guy to, kind of replace Obafemi and Javon Evans in the main event scene in NXT, and say
I like your idea better. That's great.
Say let him build himself up and give it like a year or so, and then at that point, maybe it will be time to bring him up. But I think rushing him to the main roster would be a mistake. I would love to see them kind of start him in NXT and let him slowly build up that way.
That is a much smarter plan, and it's a more of a long-term plan. I like it so much more because if you bring him to the main roster, you're right. They're going to give him this instant push and pop, but they're only doing it because they want to be petty with AEW, and then he'll cool off, and you'll forget that he's even part of WWE. When Rusev came back, I thought, okay, Rusev's going to get a big push, and he had that banger of a match with Sheamus. That was a great match at that pay-per-view. But ever since that great match, he's been falling off to the wayside. Mateo has become part of the
family tree.
Yeah. And that's not a bad place because I think he is more of a faction guy. But I think you're right. Powerhouse Hobbs would fill a void on NXT because he would fill in for Obafemi and Javon Evans, Trick Williams. I like that idea a lot. I hope somebody at WWE, the powers that be, are smart enough to think about something like that.
And by the way, speaking of my family tree, Mo, I'm gonna make a prediction for 2026. By the end of the year, the next biggest over babyface will be Solo Sikoa.
Really?
I genuinely cannot wait for them to turn a babyface. I think Solo Sikoa, just being himself, is genuinely so charismatic and so funny. I think he's almost when he does get TV time and they don't try to force him to be something he's not, which is this menacing heel. When they let Solo be Solo, he gets over so quickly and he's just so naturally funny. I'm telling you, if they turn Solo babyface, I don't think he's going to be some, a future main event, WrestleMania main eventer, but they're going to have him in that mid-card scene, and I think he's going to get super over. I think he's going to get one of the bigger pops in the company towards the end of the year if they turn him babyface and let Solo be Solo.
You know what? What I love about Solo is that when they freed him up and let him be more of himself, he's not only funny, Brett. Those impressions that he does of other wrestlers, they're so spot on. They're hilarious. I couldn't agree more. Maybe he's not going to be winning one of the bigger belts, but I think he could be dominant at the mid card. And I think you're right. As a face, I think he'd be a tremendous face. There's certain people that are meant to be faces, some are meant to be heels, and then you have those really special ones that can be elite on both ends of the table. I think Solo's a good heel. I think he'd be a great face on his own as a solo talent. So no pun intended. I hope they do it sooner than later because I just think I see where this storyline is going with right now with the Wyatt family. It's going to be entertaining, but it's the kind of feud that it's not one of those feuds that can last like a long time. It's too intense. There's too many bodies involved. I think it gets resolved soon, but I do think at some point Solo's going to strike out on his own, and I think he's going to be a great face. So I'm with you.
Yeah, absolutely. It's as long, and if you want to keep him heel, I think he still can get Mega over in 2026. Just keep letting him be a sarcastic heel. He just runs into problem when they're just trying to force him to be the serious, almost like Roman Reigns heel, where he's deep and foreboding. Like, no, let him be a goofball.
Right. I love what you just said there. I think initially that's what they tried to make him to be. They basically tried to make him be Roman Reigns Jr. And the truth of the matter is, Solo has more personality than Reigns. He doesn't have Reigns' charisma, but he has a lot more personality. He's actually better on the. It's funny because when he first started out, the man couldn't speak 3 or 4 words, but here we are now. He's better on the mic than Reigns is. I think letting Solo go and just letting him be his true self, he's going to blow up. And you're right. I think he gets a pop as a heel or a face, but I think as a face, he'll become one of the most popular wrestlers in the whole company.
Absolutely. Mo, we got to open up Monday Night Raw. We got some big news. As we learned last year, this will be the last year of AJ Styles' in-ring career. And we started out Monday Night Raw with a real simple challenge. Styles challenges Gunther for a match at the Royal Rumble. Gunther says only if you put your career on the line. So we're getting the first chance to retire AJ Styles at the Royal Rumble. It's Styles Gunther, career on the line. Mo, do you think WWE pulls off a stunner? Because my first instinct is no way you retire AJ Styles right now. WrestleMania is in like 3 months. But that being said, if you're WWE, do you pull off a stunner and retire AJ Styles at the Royal Rumble?
My gut feeling is no. I think that Gunther can win the match and he can win the match by DQ. I think a lot of things can happen. Or AJ Styles could get some outside help because Lord knows there's no shortage of wrestlers that don't like Gunther. I hope, just as a fan, because I've been an AJ Styles fan forever, I hope they don't pull off that stunner, not just yet. I'd like to see AJ Styles at one more big pay-per-view. I'd like to see him at WrestleMania in some form, one way or another. If he's going to end his career, let it be on the biggest stage. So hopefully when that match takes place, either AJ Styles finds a way to win or it ends in a DQ, but I don't want his career to be over.
I agree, and it's me being selfish. I need this to last a while longer, Mo, because you just brought up some fun new matchups for him, and I need to see him mix it up with, Trick. I need to see him mix it up again, with Carmelo. I need to see him mix it up with Ilya Dragunov. Like, there are matchups that I want to see this year before that man retires. So,
my God, that is a great matchup you just named. Dragunov versus AJ Styles. That is a banger.
Yeah, it just feels like it feels like it's going to be very tempting because what other way to start off WrestleMania season with a bang like the retirement of AJ Styles? So I understand the temptation, but I think they got to hold off. Let AJ win this one because I feel like you're leaving a lot of meat on that bone if you just retire him at the Royal Rumble.
Maybe that's the stunner that they pull off. Most people would think that Gunther would find a way to win that matchup. Maybe AJ Styles pulls up the upset, which means they have to face each other again at another pay-per-view. That storyline I could get with. Again, for my own selfish reasons, because I'm a huge AJ Styles fan, I need to see him match up with some of this new blood. I want to see him go up against Trick Williams, Dragunov, Mello, maybe even tag team again with Dragon Lee and go for the belts one more time. Why not? Because they're a good tag team. He's done too much for his career to end at the Royal Rumble.
No, absolutely. I'd still think it'd be cool too if he had a match on TNA before he retired. You got the partnership going. Let him get one more over there, just for good measure. I need his last match to be a good one, not that disaster class against, I think it was Magnus back in 2014. Oof.
And they love him over there in TNA. I could get down with that if you do. Maybe you do a match with
say like Leon Slater.
Slater and what's the big guy's name? A triple threat match. Leon Slater and Moose.
So yeah, there's just so many matchups I want to see before he hangs it up. So it's very tempting, but I hope they don't do it. And to kick off the night too, Mo, we had a heel turn at Becky versus Maxine for the IC Women's title. Natty said, "I'll be in your corner." I'll be in your corner, Maxine. To which I immediately go, Maxine, she's gonna kick your back, and I've seen this one before. To which Natty proceeds to kick Maxine's back and then costs her the match.
Yeah, I you could telegraph that one, right?
Yeah, it just feels like that's one they should have waited on a little bit. You knew the heel turn was coming, but I feel like you should have. They had like the pre-tape video, with them together, but I feel like once again you could have just drawn it out for a little longer and really built up the emotion even more before the turn. I think it still works out fine, but I don't know. It just feels like that they should have let it draw on at least a little bit longer before having Natty kick her back in.
I agree. I don't have a problem with the storyline, but I think you're right. I think they rushed it. I think they could have drawn it out a lot bit more, made it more compelling. This feels a little bit rushed. But I guess that's why they pay the guys in creative the big bucks, because they can take the storyline that they've started and they can enhance it or improve upon it. So we'll see.
No, absolutely. We had a Punk versus Finn Balor in the main event. One, it was great because Finn came back with his old theme song. And then after Punk retained the title, him and Finn showed a sign of respect. My question to you is, do you think maybe this is the start of a Finn Balor face turn and him leaving the Judgment Day? Or so you think this is maybe a bit of fan service and he goes right back to doing what he's been doing next week?
I'm actually leaning more towards him becoming more of a face. And I'm going to make a prediction. I mean, we talked about AJ Styles. I feel like Finn Balor and AJ Styles in a lot of ways are at the same point in their careers. I think Finn Balor can go back and be a face. And I think that he can win multiple titles in terms of being a big-time individual talent on the mid-card, right? I think that's how Finn and guys like Finn and AJ Balor extend, or not AJ Balor, but AJ Styles extend their careers. Especially Finn Balor. He's been a face before. We know he can be a heel, but I feel like Finn seems to be distancing himself from the Judgment Day. And look, you know how Liv Morgan thinks, right? She's real petty. It wouldn't shock me if before Finn decides to leave, she kind of speeds up the process and kicks his back in, right? Like that's kind of how they do things in the Judgment Day. It wouldn't surprise me.
No, fair enough. He's such a good babyface too, though. I'm excited for him to be able to get his shine. as a baby face, even if it's just him like breaking out and going back after like the Intercontinental Championship. Ironically, it works because it's against Dom. There's your WrestleMania match, right? Dom versus Finn. I think that would be great.
That will be a great match. It will be a great match. But yeah, that's all I'm saying. I would love Finn Balor to at some point snatch up the IC belt or the US Championship, and just be a stud on the mid card.
No, absolutely. And of course, well, we got Saturday night's main event coming up. I'm not gonna lie, it's looking pretty good. We got Cody Rhodes versus Jacob Fatu. That should be a fun one. That's first time matchup for those two. Now the Fatal 4-Way Orton Priest, Sami Zayn versus Trick Williams. Look, I really want to see Trick win, even though I know it's not going to happen. And then, of course, we got Rhea and Io versus Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez. Which of those matches do you think will end up being the best one?
I think the tag team match is going to be better. I think Jacob Fatu and Cody could be a banger. And because Cody is no longer the champion, I think all the cards are on the table. Like, it shouldn't surprise anybody if Jacob Fatu won. Just like it shouldn't surprise anybody if Cody won. I think that could go either way. But I do think that the tag team matchup, you know how this goes. If they were wrestling as individual talents, it's hard to believe anybody's going to take out Rhea. But in a tag team matchup where it's not always about who's stronger or more powerful, but maybe who's more clever, I'm going to give the edge to Liv and Roxanne.
Oh, that. Hey, I would enjoy a Liv and Roxanne tag title run. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Yeah, I could see that going either way. I'm gonna lean the title stays with Rhea and Io for a little bit, but honestly, that one I could see him going either way with it. Like I said, Fatal 4-Way. Look, I think obviously they're teasing it's going to be Randy Orton, but man, how much I would love to see someone like Trick upset everybody and go face Drew McIntyre at the Royal Rumble.
You know what? Triple H and Creative, they're not that bold. That would be a bold swing, and be unexpected. I'd love for them to do something unexpected, but they pretty much go by the numbers. I think Trick will have a good showing, but he won't win.
No, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. At the end of the day, I don't know I don't know what we get for the Royal Rumble, but it'll be a lot of fun. Randy versus Drew would be great. I would love to see it.
That's a matchup that I would enjoy. That would be a really physical banger of a matchup. Two super powerful guys with strong finishers that can come out of nowhere. Sign me up for that matchup.
Now, I do got to ask, Mo, are you a fan of the newest international sensation, Kit Wilson? He got a new theme song. He's getting over really quickly. Everybody loves singing and dancing with the new theme. What do you think about Kit? Do you think this is maybe a future Intercontinental or U.S. champion, or you think this is just a phase?
No, I think it's a legit push, a legit movement, and it seems to be building momentum. I don't think it's a phase. I think what Kit Wilson is doing right now is he's set the standard. I think he's eventually going to go for one of the belts, and it wouldn't shock me at all if he won it. And it's funny, right? Because the new theme song, again, if it's a catchy song, you almost overlook if it's corny. I think his song is really catchy. I'm kind of digging it. Like I said, I don't know why I like the Joe Hendry theme song. It's nothing special, but yet something about it, maybe because it fits him so perfectly, it just works.
I loved it on SmackDown when he came out to his theme song, attacked Matt Cardona, and then continued with his entrance like nothing happened. That was absolutely terrific. So, look, I'm all in on Kit Wilson. He's just stupid entertaining.
Agreed.
And there are rumors that WrestleMania was going to be Cody versus Roman the Third before obviously they switched it up and Drew McIntyre won the world title. Do you think, would you have been excited for a third Cody Roman match at WrestleMania, or do you think that's maybe suited for a different pay-per-view?
I would have been excited for it. I don't think the Cody Roman matchup is stale. I don't think it's stale at all. I think it's still fresh. And remember, when Cody beat Roman at WrestleMania, we hadn't seen them really go at it anymore since then. So I think that feud is fresh. I would sign up to see that again. I maybe I'm in the minority, but I think that's a more compelling thing. I know that Cody has unresolved issues with Drew because Drew obviously just beat him for the belt. But Roman Reigns and Cody, to me, I think that elevates everything. So I would prefer that matchup over, say, Cody versus Drew, or even Roman Reigns versus Drew. I wouldn't find that interesting.
Well, we got a couple months to see what they're going for WrestleMania, but hey, we'll hopefully if it doesn't happen this year, it might not happen again at WrestleMania because of course they're rumoring WrestleMania 43 in Saudi Arabia. They're rumoring they'll pull out the big guns, and one of the names they're targeting is, of course, they're going to pay big money to try to get The Rock to wrestle his retirement match. So, if they convince that to happen, they're running Rock versus Roman over there, and that ties up Roman next year too.
The only problem I have with Rock versus Roman is the longer we have to wait, the more concerned I am if it's going to be an entertaining match or not. Right? Let's keep it a buck. Rock can come out, he can come down to the ring, and he looks physically amazing, but you can tell by the way he moves, he's nowhere near the athlete that he used to be.
I would be worried about that match too. I hope it happens. I hope it happens so everybody can shut up about it. But I also know that I think that The Rock is best suited to be in tag team matches if he is going to continue wrestling a match or even one more match. I think it'd be best suited to be a tag team match. I think that's a big reason why the WrestleMania 40 match worked out so well, because then you can kind of pan off The Rock to let him catch his breath for as long as you needed. And I thought he was in great shape for that one. So I have no doubt, but obviously a singles match is a different beast. He's going to be under a constant microscope the entire time. He is the great one, the Brahma Bull. He'll probably pull it off and get into incredible shape leading up to Mania if he so chooses to. But obviously, I would be really nervous about that match. But I also just think a lot of people aren't excited to see him after the stunts he pulled before this year's WrestleMania with him and Travis Scott and everything. And him randomly, like, them putting the Cody and Roman tag team match in the main event of Bad Blood just so The Rock could come out and count to 3.
Yeah, what was that? What was that?
I was told that it was part of a bigger plan and I was supposed to shut up and enjoy the ride The Rock takes me on, and it really didn't lead to anything.
I feel like they have a plan and then he deviates from him. I don't think that he and Triple H are always on the same page. We still never got a clarification of what happened when supposedly Cena was his champion, right? That just washed away and it never made sense. Like, Cena won the belt, Rock disappeared. That didn't make sense to me. And then I think the next time we saw Rock, he's coming down to the ring and he's cursing out, I guess, himself, complaining about something that went wrong, but he never actually got in the ring. Like, I don't know what they plan on doing with him, but I think you hit it on the head. To get the best performance out of him in the ring, somehow, some way, you got to make it a tag team match.
Right? Yeah, absolutely. Even if it's like another Bloodline Civil War story, like that's cool. You can get your Rock and Roman one-on-one in the context of a tag match.
Right. You're right. Look, remember, I think The Rock literally, what is he, 50, 51? So he can be in amazing shape, but in a tag match, you can get those breaks. You can be in and out, and the spotlight's not on you. In a singles match, it's just you. and you got to be able to perform for upwards of 25 to 30 minutes. I don't think he can do that. And that's not a knock. I mean, he's just a lot older, even if he's in terrific shape. And he's not as explosive as he once was. So he's got to do things a little bit more methodically. So I would rather see them drum up another bloodline feud. It's not like there's a shortage of bloodline members. And maybe it's him versus Roman, and his tag team partner is, I don't know, Jacob Fatu or whoever. I'd watch it. I'd enjoy it.
No, absolutely. So I guess before we get up and out of here, Mo, I got one more question just to end on a fun note. It's something I thought of during the show. So they're doing WWE Unreal right now, where they're showing all the backstage stuff, etc. My question to you is, Mo, if you could go backstage and see the chaos and the inner workings of one moment or one show, what would you want to see? Like, what would you want WWE Unreal to cover? For example, maybe you would love to see the backstage of what happened after The Undertaker lost the streak at WrestleMania 30. Or when Stone Cold aligned with Vince. What moment or match would you have loved for WWE Unreal to follow?
If I could have gone back and followed it, I would have loved to go back and have Unreal follow when Stone Cold and Rock was at the peak of their feud. All the backstage stuff, all the interferences, but I would love Unreal to peel back the cover and let us see how that was going. Like, that was amazing. If in a close second for me would be the buzz backstage after Undertaker appeared at the WrestleMania with The Rock. Remember that? That was so amazing. I would love that Unreal to peel back that onion, because that was amazing to me.
No, that's fair enough. The funny part is when I thought about that question, one of the first things that came to mind, of course, was Montreal Screwjob. But then I remembered there's actual video of backstage from the Montreal Screwjob.
Yeah, I've already seen it.
So it's like I've already seen that one. So I almost feel like it's so tough because there's so many big moments in time. Man, I might want to, I kind of want to see the vibes from when Stone Cold returned to the ring at WrestleMania 38 Night 1. I'm not going to lie.
That's a good one.
I'd have loved to see how they covered that and everything. That would have been sick.
That's a good one. Yeah. Man, I didn't even think of that one. That's a really good one. Yeah, I could go with that one.
I think I thought about WrestleMania 30, but I think I'd just be sad. I love, because I know they did some backstage stuff for WrestleMania 30, but obviously The Undertaker's my favorite of all time, and if they started showing videos of him just being heavily concussed, it'd probably just make me sad, because it was well reported he suffered a bad concussion after the match with Brock Lesnar. So yeah, I don't know if I could handle that one.
Yeah, that would be tough. I'll never forget when the streak ended. And they always have the reaction of the one guy where his eyes went super big and bug-eyed, and I feel like my eyes were that way too, except I wasn't on TV, because I was as surprised as everybody. I was as stunned as everybody. Did not see it happening.
Fun fact, that was the only WrestleMania I didn't finish watching start to end.
Oh, really?
Because I was so upset that The Undertaker lost, I just went to bed. I didn't even finish watching Daniel Bryan stuff. I'm like, man, I don't care. He's going to win anyway. I don't care. They messed up. I'm going to bed. I was just raging in my room for the rest of the night. I was so upset when Taker lost. I'll be the first to admit it.
I watched it all, but I'm not going to lie. I was salty the rest of the way through. I felt like because he lost, it took the air out of the rest of the show.
Yeah, the weird part is when the year after, because obviously Ryan got hurt and retired from the ring, they did the weird thing where they for a while they didn't want to promote him because he wasn't going to be there, so they showed like an episode. They showed a rerun of WrestleMania 30, but had the main event be Brock versus Taker. I'm like, now why would that be the last thing I want to see?
Right.
I didn't want to see that once.
Agreed.
But yeah, Mo, that's all I had for us today. Anything you want to add before we get up on out of here?
Thank you, chat, so much for joining us on this special MLK Day. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of the holiday. Hope you guys enjoy the national championship game. And make sure you check out Meaty Boyz next Monday night. Make sure you check out And One. Are we doing a show Thursday?
Oh yeah.
So check out And One, 9 p.m. We appreciate you guys. Make sure you check out all the great content. Matter of fact, guys, because we have so many awesome shows on Wire to Wire. We appreciate you. And
your national championship update, by the way, Indiana is currently up 10-0 now on Miami. So it looks like, but Miami is marching. They currently have the ball at the 43-yard line, but it is 4th and 2. So make sure you check out that game after this. We do thank you for tuning in, and we hope you enjoy the rest of your night.